big game, Al, but even though Manchester City lost last night and eliminated from the Carabao Cup, are they not allowed a bad performance in a cup competition? They've won that many trophies domestically.
And they've taken this serious in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, Al, like, everyone would have thought this season, okay, Man City are going to win the Carabao Cup and they're going to win the FA Cup. You know, and last night they weren't at their best. He's rested players. The team he put out last night was more than good enough to do the job against Southampton. They didn't turn up. They lost. How many times have Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea been upset in competitions in recent years and they've been knocked out at early stages? So, yes, he will be unhappy and he will make changes for the weekend. I think some players won't be playing the weekend. Cancelo, maybe Foden, Phillips for sure won't be playing. And he won't be happy, but you can't go in on Manchester City after their recent record in the Carabao Cup.
Why so sure Phillips won't play? You've got the hump with Phillips at the moment.
You know what? I haven't got the hump with him. I just feel like you've been blessed.
You called him fat earlier.
I can't talk. When you've been blessed, Al, with a move to Manchester City, you know, he was a top player at Leeds United, done well for England. You've been blessed with that move. Unfortunately, you've had injury problems. That's not your fault. But for Pep to come out and say that, you know, you're overweight and that's the reason why you're not involved, then you get yourself back to speed. And this is the perfect chance for you to show that you can give Rodri more rest. I can play my fair share.
Turn around, Gab, and say I need 3 or 4 games to get back to my fighting weight.
But will he get that chance? Like last night was the perfect chance for him to go out and shine and Rodri to get the rest he deserves. And Rodri's had to come on in 63 minutes. Kevin De Bruyne, Pep would have loved to have said, you know what? You come in, you're on the bench. You're not going to play at all. Yeah. You've got a big game on Saturday lunchtime. You've been playing so much recently. A rest. Kevin De Bruyne has to come on at half time for the young lad Cole Palmer, who's a good player. Didn't perform yesterday, so he will be upset. Pep at these players, but you can't have a go at Manchester City after recent
I'm with you.
Cup wins.
So a reminder, Manchester United against City is talkSPORT exclusive this Saturday, 12:30. Now, former City boss Stuart Pearce was at St Mary's last night and joins us now. Stuart, a very good morning, Stewie.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
good to have you back, Al. I thought you'd left the radio station.
Well, no, sure, that's a bit extreme. It's a bit extreme, my friend.
I thought I'd push the bar up from 6 months missing, you know. So.
No. It was probably 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks. Anyway,
okay. He just had a good Christmas and enjoyed himself.
I know. Yeah, I know those Christmases.
So, was that a massive shock for you last night, Stuart? Because City have taken this very, very serious in the past, haven't they?
I think that's the main thing, you know. If they were one of these teams that sort of went into the Carabao and mix and match their teams a lot, you would have thought to yourself, well, it's expected. But I tell you what, the substitutions very soon in the second half suggested that he wanted to chase the game and turn it round. But the longer the game went on, the more Southampton were comfortable in the game, thoroughly deserved to win the game.
Now, we do have some harsh pundits on talkSPORT, Stuart, but Gabby came out with a belter earlier. You know, Phillips is finished. You know, I'm like, oh, give the guy a break.
Don't believe a word he says, Pearcey. I just said to him, Pearcey, like, he that was his chance last night, wasn't it, to start the game, show what he's made of. And Rodri, who's played every game, needs a rest, had to be brought on.
It's a good option for City to have, but I've got to say, whilst I won't totally agree with Gabby here, I was a little bit disappointed with Calvin yesterday. I thought he looked off the pace in regard to the game physically, and also as well, I think he's trying to fit into a new team and a different style of play. You know, Leeds were very defined the way they played and the way he played there. And as I say, I didn't see the same player at Leeds yesterday in the game, and I thought it was a tough game for him. And it was no surprise to me that he was taken off.
So Stuart, with Saints winning, what a shot in the arm that is! What a boost! Up comes Everton. You know what's the better result? Beating City last night, or would you, as a manager, rather have 3 points in the Premier coming up the weekend?
Well, what you got is this situation. Is silverware more important than staying in the Premier League? I think at the end of it, if this is another building block to Southampton getting their hands on a bit of silverware and winning the Carabao Cup in a month or so, then I would take the cup victory, even if it cost me Premier League status personally. You know, that would be me, because you look back in your career and there's very few few teams and few players get the opportunity to actually win something. You know what I mean? So I think it's a really refreshing semi-final lineup. I really do. Newcastle
and
being
the
in there,
other
Forest
ones,
as well.
Stewie. Oh, well,
Brilliant.
I can think of some great Forest Man United ties and games in the league.
Yeah.
So this is a biggie for Forest, isn't it? How hopeful are you?
Well, to be fair, I don't think they'd have been too pleased with a draw. All three teams probably wanted to avoid Manchester United with the form they're on, but you've got a chance, especially, Forest are pulling results around. What they've got to do is make sure that the game at Old Trafford is a tight one, and hopefully they'll get something at the City Ground. But listen, two great semi-finals.
What do you think of the scenes after the game yesterday in the Forest game? They've got a bit of a rivalry now, haven't they? Wolves and Forest. Gibbs White was celebrating, wasn't he, in front of the Wolves fans, and it all kicked off.
Yeah, I didn't see it, Gab, to be fair. I was obviously at St Mary's, so I've not seen the scenes from the game, but, these rivalries develop and whatever. But listen, from Forest's point of view, I think their seasons turn around probably after about a month and a half into the season, 2 months into the season, where Steve Cooper's looked at it and changed the way they've played slightly, and they've got a real togetherness about them now.
Yeah. Stewie, just before you go, very sad news. Jeff Beck passing the age of 78, so he's had a cracking life. Was he one of your favourites? Because everyone I've spoken to in the past talking about great guitarists in the world, his name always came up.
Yeah, as I say, it's really sad. It seems like there's one a week that
it's frightening.
we depart, especially from the music world and whatever. Really, really sad. As I say, I was at the 100 Club this week, which is a place in Oxford Street, and you go down there and the pictures on the wall with some of the great musicians on there, some with us and some not anymore.
Yeah.
But really sad news about Jeff Beck. Yeah.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.